Hello everyone, my name's Lion7 and you are live at the Lion's Den. If you've caught any of my streams before, twitch.tv/lion_7, you've no doubt heard that intro slogan whenever I've started a stream. What I'm actually doing here today is a little bit different. First time ever, I'm actually doing my own recorded YouTube video, so please be gentle. That being said, the reason I'm making the video is I've been streaming for about a year and a half, and I wanted to go over the basics in terms of what you need to actually stream. It might actually be simpler than what you think. You might actually have most of the stuff you already need. And then based off just getting started, if you decide you like it, then you can decide to upgrade down the road. With the holiday season approaching us, you might be getting some extra funds, you might be getting some extra gifts that might help you towards the goal of starting to stream. So just sit back, relax, and let's go over the basics. So what do you need to stream? Let's get started. A computer. So whether it be laptop, desktop, mini PC, whatever options you have, you essentially would need a computer of some kind to actually get your streaming done. The computer is what runs your streaming programs, sends it to the streaming platform, which we'll talk about in a moment here. But essentially, without a computer, you have no way of sending your content to a streaming platform. You could also play the game on the computer as well. So you might be streaming and playing the game on that same computer. You might be a console gamer. We'll talk about that in a bit as well. But essentially, you do need a computer in order to stream. Next, we have a streaming account. So I mentioned earlier in the video, I stream to Twitch, but Twitch is not the end all and be all of streaming. There's YouTube, there's Kick, there's other options as well. Whatever you decide you want to stream to, you can stream to multiple places at the same time now. But wherever you want to stream to, you would need some sort of an account. So you just set up your registered account with them, you set up a profile, basic things like that with any kind of setup to any website, and then it'll allow you to stream to their platform as long as you have the proper programs. Speaking of proper programs, that's what's next on the list. We have a streaming software program need. So OBS, Streamlab OBS, and a bunch of other options as well. I personally use OBS. That's what I swear by. Other people like different programs, but that's your preference. The whole point of the streaming software, that's the program on your computer that connects to your streaming account to then let you stream to that streaming platform. So you set up that Twitch account or that YouTube account, that OBS or Streamlab OBS program will let you stream or record video like I'm doing right now and be able to send that information to the actual streaming platform to then stream live. So you do need one of these programs to use it. If it's your first time, I'd recommend using a free program like OBS, Streamlab OBS. But there are paid versions that probably offer more features because they are paid. So your mileage might vary. Like I said, if you're starting out brand new, I would recommend just using one of the free programs. Next option, technically optional. I wouldn't say what you need per se, but the reason why I have this on the list is what if you have a very old computer? Your computer is good enough to stream from, your computer is good enough to game from, but maybe your computer is not good enough to do both at the same time. Having a separate gaming PC or a gaming console will divide the workload. You'll still have one dedicated PC for streaming, but then you'll have the other PC or the gaming console to actually play the game from. There's ways of getting that video feed over, which we'll talk about in a moment, but it basically divides the workload so that both items aren't too stressed. Your gaming PC or console won't be stressed out by just gaming, and obviously your stream PC won't be stressed out because it's only streaming, it's not doing anything else. Capture card. Capture card leads directly into the previous comment in terms of the separate PC or gaming console. If you are gaming from a separate place, how do you get that video audio signal to the streaming PC? Because the streaming PC is the one that sends out the signal to the streaming platform. Capture cards are basically designed to split the signal from the second PC or the console, because essentially you have an HDMI cable going from that console or PC to the monitor you're playing from. It lets you split out that signal via USB, connect it to your streaming PC, and then now you can capture, and that's why it's called a capture card, capture that audio and video over to your stream PC so that now you can actually stream that content. So if you are going through that second PC or gaming console route, this is a requirement. But if you're playing just on one computer, this would be an optional thing. You don't need it. Next, we have headphones. Some people would say it's optional. I would say it's required, especially if you're blaring like speakers and you're trying to hear back the game audio and all that. If it's too loud, it's going to go into your microphone, and then you're getting like a weird audio effect, obviously, in that sense. So I would say having headphones is good. It basically takes all the sounds, various sounds that you have while streaming, and just puts it right here, easy to hear. You stay connected right to what you're doing in terms of your gameplay, in terms of anything going on in your stream PC, in terms of audio. It's just a great way just to make the outside stay quiet, but make sure you hear everything, you know what your audience is hearing. And obviously, this is very low on the list, but sometimes it's a good look, honestly, just having a nice pair of headphones. So I honestly recommend headphones. I would say it's a requirement, but if you play with very low speakers, like low volume speakers, I should say, it's possible that you might not need it, but I would say it's a requirement. Next is microphone. So microphone, I would consider one of these big topics because like you need to talk to your audience. Obviously, if you're not talking at all, you're silent. I have that issue too, where sometimes I'm playing and I'm way too into the game, I go silent. But if you want to talk directly to whoever you're streaming to, you do want to have a microphone. The type of microphone you have depends on your need, your budget, things like that. If you have like earbuds that have the microphone in it, you can use that. If you have a headset, so this actually has a headset piece. This is not like headphones. This is a gaming headset. I could just use the headset microphone to talk. I have a dedicated microphone here. That's an option as well. You have USB mics. You have XLR mics. All these options that you can kind of go into. I'm personally using a USB mic right now. There's different types of microphones. I would do research on type of microphones. Probably a later video that I'll talk about here on the channel. But do the research, figure out what type of microphone you want. Like I said, if you're starting out and you don't know if you want to kind of do this, long term, use what you have. The earbuds, the gaming headset. If you're a gamer, you probably have like a very cheap headset microphone. I just recommend using that. Webcam. So you need to be able for people to see you, like you're seeing me right now. In terms of webcams, there's obviously various options. There's basic webcams, like what the picture here depicts. It just gives a video feed to allow people to look at you. It's a very simple concept. Where you go with it can go very much high in terms of like quality and expense, things like that. So basic webcams you can pick up. You can get more expensive webcams that have higher qualities. You can go through the actual digital camera route where you have a digital camera hooked up to a capture card. That's actually what I'm using right now. I have a DLSR. I have it hooked up to a capture card so that I have it's more or less a higher higher video quality than if you're using a basic cheap webcam. So any of these options, and like I said, probably something I'll explore in a later video, you can explore any of these options. If you're starting out, you don't know if you like this, your laptop probably has a built-in webcam. Not the best quality, but it's better than no camera. You might have one of these cheap external webcams that just kind of attach to the top of your monitor. I would use that. Don't throw your budget in terms of your camera right away, especially if you don't know if you want to do this. Once you figure out, hey, I want to do this more long term, then start throwing money into better quality things. Lighting. The most important thing with video is lighting. A lot of people will tell you that. A lot of videos will tell you that as well, and it's 100% true. So I'm actually using lighting right now. I have actually three lights on me right now. I have what's called a key light. So it's basically my main light that shoots onto me here. I have a fill light, which is just kind of fills into the second half of my face. And then I have actually a hairline light, which is kind of, it's vertical up here, shoots down on the top of my head here. Just to kind of give you a quick demonstration. Let me just quickly go over to. So that's my fill light off. Okay. That's my key light off. Sorry. This is my fill light off. That was my key light off. And then that's my hair light off. So all of them are doing different things. Do you need all these lights to begin with? No, you could just use a light in your room. Um, you could also buy cheap lights off of Amazon. That's how I started with. I eventually upgraded to having better lights as well. Um, just because I wanted to have a better lighting setup, because sometimes I use this setup for like talking with people and things like that. So just having that better lighting setup is my personal preference. But teach their own. Do your research. There's so many brands, so many cheap like Amazon knockoffs you can get. Whatever you decide to go with, you go with. But like I said, if you're starting off new, try something cheap just to see, because anything cheap is better than having nothing at all. And just seeing if it's something you like. If you decide you don't want to stream, it's not too much of a financial impact. And next, our final point today, the most important thing is you. Obviously, all that other stuff I talked about is meaningless if you're not doing it. So just putting yourself out there and doing it. I have a 9 to 5 job. I try to be as consistent as possible, but I'm not always consistent with streaming. Sometimes I do take breaks, but I do try to get on when I can. Try to be consistent as possible and just put myself out there. Because if you're not putting yourself out there, people aren't going to find you. You have to be on there for people to find you, and it doesn't mean you have to be on like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if you're consistent, like one of the great features with Twitch, for example, you can create a schedule and say, hey, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, I stream from this time to this time. So like people can actually see, oh, they're going to be streaming at this point. They'll know when you're on. If they follow you, they also get a notification when you come on. Because I'm more sporadic as well. I sometimes don't always stick to a schedule. But without you, the rest of this list is meaningless. So being yourself, being your genuine self, and just putting yourself out there, that's what's going to get you the ability to just have the chance to talk to people. I think, and I honestly believe this, in my heart of hearts, if you're not genuine, people know that you're not genuine. So just going on stream and just honestly just showing people who you are, um, that will attract people to you and have people talk to you. Um, you know, I'm still working on my progress in terms of myself. There are some days where I stream, there's no one there. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, because I felt like a lot of people who do these videos are really well established. So they start a stream and like there's a good chunk of people that are already there talking with them. And I think some of the hardest things you can do is starting a stream, have no one pop in for a couple hours. And it can be very unmotivating to do it. But as long as you're genuine to yourself and honestly you're doing something you'd be doing anyways, like me personally, I'm a gamer, I'll always be a gamer. I would be gaming anyways, so I figured if I stream myself and just show my genuine self playing, some people might pop in and say hello. So again, most important thing of this list is you. You, your genuine self, just displaying yourself, having a good time. Yeah, so that's my list. We got through it here. So as you can tell, I went through very briefly those options. Obviously, with each of those categories, we can go into so much more depth. And depending on how this video does, it's possible that there'll be some newer videos that pop up in the future that kind of explore those categories more in depth in terms of like the options you have for like microphones, webcams, whatever the case may be. Because I feel like I just kind of touched the surface of it. Um, There's so much more detail you can go in terms of these categories here. So, with that being said, guys, I do appreciate you watching my video here. Obviously, for YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff that you do for YouTube. Um, and I will see you next time. And as I mentioned before at the start of my video, you see my Twitch username in the bottom right hand corner this time. Um, Follow me on Twitch. You'll probably catch me live before another video is put up. And feel free to come in, say hi, say that you saw the video. And if you want to have a further conversation live while I'm streaming, feel free to hop in. That being said, I'll see you next time.